Okay, I'm going to do a gameplay video. And this is the Code Breaker, which is a variation of Mastermind. I'm sure many of you have seen this before, but I'm just going to play it and you can follow along, I hope. I'll try to explain my methodology, whatever. I've done this before, or this particular style of play. I'm going to start super easy, sort of like remedial training, right? You're just going to guess a single color to start with. Hey, and red is in it. Got lucky this time. The downside to starting with this sort of single color guessing is that you just burned up a whole guess in just one color, right? Then you only have so few guesses to go, so there's a risk you may run out of guesses. But starting this way instructionally makes it easy to explain what's going on, and I think easy for people to comprehend how to tease out the logic method for, solving these puzzles. Alright, so I added orange. So orange isn't in it, right? Right, black means right color, right place. White means correct color, but not the correct place. So I've only got one color in it, right? So we know it's red, right? We already know that. I just know that red's not in that spot. So let's move red. We know orange isn't there, so let's add yellow. Yippee-yay, yellow, 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 yellow. Okay, so yellow isn't in it either, and red doesn't go there. So let's move red to the next spot. Let's try green this time. Boy, we're going to have to get another color here pretty soon, aren't we? And, okay. We know that the black peg is going to refer to one of these greens and not the red, because if it was the red, the green would have nowhere else to go, right? That's just, simple elimination kind of logic thing going on there, right? So let's just arbitrarily choose green to go there. We know it's only got a 1 in 4 chance of being right, so who knows, right? But we'll go ahead and move red, right? We know those two colors are in there, but we're not certain yet about their positioning. So let's go ahead and add in the light blue. Or I think I was calling it turquoise before, but there we go. Alright, so they're all in it, but they're all in the wrong spot. The good news is red only has one place to go, so we know red goes there for sure. Let's see, so what are we going to do with green? Well, let's just try green in the next available spot that it had been in before, right? And now with the light blue or turquoise, since it also is just a white, meaning correct color, but not the right place, it's going to be in one of these two spots. So I'm going to, again, arbitrarily, let's try the left one. And then now let's put in the dark blue. Okay. Okay, we know dark blue is not in it, because, right, we still only have 3 colors. So it's the same 3 colors we had at the last line. The cool thing is we know they're all right. Alright, so let's go ahead and just stick them in there, because we know they are correct. The good news is it looks like we are going to solve this one. Right, because there's only 2 spaces left, and there's only 2 colors left. So we know they go in there. And there's only 2 ways they can go, and we have 2 lines. So it's, it's either this way or flip them, right? So, oh darn, we didn't get it right that time, but there's only one more possibility, so it has to be this one here. And voila, code cracked. And no, I'm not going to bother putting my name up. I'm just going to hit the thing. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, let's play another version, or another game of this, not version, but a different strategy. You could do it where you just did all 5 colors, right, and then try to work in the other 3 depending on your results. I don't know, personally, what I like to do is to use starting with 3. right? You want to do more colors than one so that you can get, you know, you can deduce more colors at a time kind of thing. But the more colors you put in, the harder it is to actually deduce, you know, because you just have more going on. So for me, doing 3 is sort of a nice, you know, middle ground. Makes it manageable. You can typically have enough guesses and whatnot, right? So 2 of those 3 colors are in there. So I'm just going to say, well, let's see if it was red and orange. And now from here on, I'm just going to do a single color. You know, it wasn't yellow, or if it is red and orange, then yellow can't be in it, right? It's, you know, a lot of this is assumption, try it out, see, right? Well, from this we can deduce that green is not in it, so yellow must be, and that one of those 2 is not correct. So let's stick in the red. Let's put in a yellow, and throw in the turquoise. And I don't really know much for sure yet. I'm still doing a fair amount of guessing, trial and error. Okay, so I did choose right? Between the red and the orange. I got lucky. Okay, and so I know that these 3 colors are in the puzzle. And I know that 2 of those 3 are in the right place. Now the thing about this is, it can't be that yellow and red are both in the correct place, because that would mean the white refers to the light blue and it has no more places to try out. So it has to be that one of the light blues are correct, and then one of those 2 is correct. We are not sure which one yet, so we'll just arbitrarily choose red, and we'll try yellow in one of the 3 available spots for it. And then now I will add in the dark blue. Okay. Actually, you know, one thing just dawned on me. I know that red has to be in that spot, right? It's not going to move around. I don't know why I was thinking there was any ambiguity in that before, because it's always only ever been black. So the only ones that we really had any ambiguity with were the yellow from down here and the light blue from here. Okay, so now we know that those 4 colors are in there. But so which ones are the correct ones? So it could be that we chose the right light blue one, and that yellow still goes there and dark blue goes there, right? You see how that might go, right? Like this. Alright, is that the only way it could be? I mean, it seems to me we could have, because there are other ways, right? It could have been that the yellow is correct, and these 2 blues are both wrong, right? So then you would, right? So there's some variations here that it could be, right? So let's go back to what I had said before. For some reason, I like having these weird little consistent L's and bars, and it's a totally aesthetic choice, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes I like to, I don't know, it amuses me to try to make patterns as well as when I'm trying to solve the puzzle. I don't know, it's silly, but whatnot. Okay, so what's going on here? It seems to me, well, the purple isn't in it, so we know that that magenta one is going to be in it. And it looks to me like I probably chose wrong, doesn't it? So let's go. Let's put the red in here. You know, let's go back to the previous arrangement we had. And look at that for a minute. How do we want to modify this? Because that was also 2 blue. I mean, excuse me, 2 black pegs and 2 white pegs as far as the scoring. And it didn't improve. So what are we going to flip around here to... So maybe it is like that, right? Will that match up still better? Now it seems like I'm missing something. Let's just try this and see what happens there. Right, okay, so I did. I goofed up here somewhere. Probably just whipping through it and not being terribly careful. So... see if it's... yellow... dark blue... turquoise... and magenta. What do you know? There you go. Let's do another one of those. I don't feel like I explained my thought process very well that time around, so let's try it one more time. And then maybe we'll play some Sokoban. Actually, I think I might do that because there was a game I played earlier this week that was extremely challenging for me. I'm pretty sure I can remember how the solution goes, but it was quite a long puzzle. So it would, you know, probably make good fodder for a video. Okay, back to just starting off with 3 colors. One of them is in the correct place. One of the other 2 is in it, but not in the correct place. I'm going to just arbitrarily choose. I'm going to guess maybe red's right. But then one of these 2 isn't. So I like to do this. Because it's sort of a quick check, right? If this is right, and I chose the yellow right, then I know I've got to get 2 blacks on this one, right? That kind of reduces your ambiguity. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of my strange strategy, right? So it didn't turn out that way, so I know that this isn't right, right? So it could be those 2 colors, but it wasn't red. Because if it was both of those, that's the only place yellow has left to go, right? Okay, so let's assume that it was red and yellow, and I just goofed on which one is in the correct spot. And assuming if it is those 2 colors being correct, then green's out. So we don't know that for sure. This is all still kind of an if-then kind of situation. But let's see what it gives us. Okay, so I totally screwed the pooch on that, right? So what that tells us is not only is light blue not in it, right, but it's only one of those, right? We only got one right. It's not even in the right spot, so this is totally goofed. Which means we go back to this line, alright, so that one wasn't correct that those were both right. Which is meaning, since it's only one of those colors, it means that the green is in it. And more importantly, it's likely that the green is the right one. So let's... in looking at this, the way it's kind of unfolding, I'm going to go, okay, let's abandon the choosing the red correct strategy. And what are we going to do? So, I'm going to try this. Let's say that it's the green, right? And that the green actually is one of the black pegs. And let's say it was the yellow that was one of the black pegs. We'll try not that one, obviously, right? And let's say if it's the yellow, then it's not the red. So let's put in the orange, right? And again, since the yellow is in that position, that's where the black peg is referring to it, right? So that the black peg would refer to that yellow peg, and this black peg would refer to that green peg, right? Is that making sense, I hope? Anyway, I'm going to blow off the turquoise, and let's put in the dark blue and see what this gets us. See, we're still doing a fair amount of exploration here. We don't know anything for sure just yet. I'm not even 100% sure that these 3 preliminary colors are right? It could be that, you know, that it was red and orange, right? I just know it had to be one of these 2, not, you know, which one of the 2 was. So, right now I'm going to assume, just for the sake of whatever, that it is the yellow. Choose the green, right? So I'm assuming that this black is to that yellow, and that the green and the orange are both white. And the only reason I'm doing that is just because it's the first thing that jumped out at me that would fit that pattern, right? And if it fits, you know, in a logical sense, it is a possibility. You know, we don't know about anything for sure yet, but if we're right about those 3 colors, then these last 2 spots should be taken up by these last two colors. So if this is a good guess or exploration, or however you want to phrase it in your mind, then I should have at least all 5 colors right. We don't know anything so much about the positioning just yet, but let's just see what it gets us. Oh wow, that was a really lucky guess, wasn't it? That seems unsatisfying to get it that quickly without, anyway. So I lied, I'm going to do one more on these. And then we'll go to Sokoban and I'll play the long puzzle. Or at least one of them. Oh, okay, we're doing the 2 black peg thing again. Let's see what that gets us. Maybe I'm going to have a string of lucky guesses this evening. Nope. So let's say it was red, and let's say it was yellow instead of the orange. And let's throw in the turquoise. Like this, right? So now this is a rough one, right? Did I choose correct by saying red and yellow instead of orange and yellow, right? Because if that's true, then we can just, put these 3 in there. Or it could be that, well, let's just do that. Let's just see what happens if we do that. Let's say that it was the red. And it is the yellow. Let's throw in these 3 colors here to fill in the last spaces. And what do you know, that's the way it worked out. Typically when I get a pattern like that, as far as the scoring pegs, since only 2 of them are in the wrong spot, basically you just have to figure out which 2 to flip. So what makes the most sense to flip? It's going to be one of these ones here, so let's just flip these 2. What do you know? There we go. Code correct. Here, let's go back and look at that, right? See, there you go, right? So there you go. Hopefully that made some sense. If not, then it was just unknown. Alright, let's go over to Sokoban. Okay, I think this is the one that yeah, this is it. This is when I did this a while back. And there you go. Hey, there's me. So I'm on the board anyway. Oh, I'm going to have some nicotine, so here we go. And as you can see, it takes, a fair number of moves. And at first glance, here's the thing about it that screwed me up when I was having trouble doing it. And I couldn't solve it for, I don't know, a better part of, I think I was stumped for a day, well, not a whole day, I wasn't sitting here for, 8 hours or something like that, but for a good while I go, scratching my head, because I thought it was just a matter of, just poke these down here, right? And it's like, I was like, oh no, well the obvious thing is you can't do that, because then if you poke these down here, from back here, you've filled in your escape route, right? So that doesn't work. Oops, sorry about banging that stand. And, just telling me I have my heater going. I hope that noise isn't too atrocious for you guys, but the place I'm living in now is more or less a converted garage, and it's just way too cold for me to not have the heater running, so sorry. Anyway, so the frustrating bit that I discovered is that you have to get all these out of here and up into this region over here, and you have to so you kind of have to unload them and then load everything back in, so it's kind of a pain. And even more than that, you have to kind of do a little bit of rearrangement down here just to be able to get into the space. So here, let's see how this goes. Right, so this part I kind of remember. Just gotta get these things kind of, I want to do it this way. Alright, around here. See what I'm doing here? Well, it'll become clear when I start doing it. See, I need to have this loop open to be able to get some stuff moving around, right? And clearly my score is not going to be very good because I'm doing a fair amount of just moving around to show you guys what I'm doing. Get this guy out of the way, right? So he's now out of the way. So now what I have to do is I have to rearrange all of the stuff into the larger body of the puzzle up here. I have to get all this stuff kind of moved around to make way for, well, I just have to do a lot of housekeeping, I guess is a way of putting it. So let's get this up and away out of the way. And let's see, how does this work now? I need to get this guy like here, I think is okay. I think that will work like that, right? And I need to get that all the way over there. This one up here, I don't think this is the way I did it before. Seems like there's a neater, more efficient way of just doing this way, but let's see, now what do I need to do? I need this guy. Right, I think I'm going to put it there, and it seems weird, right, to just move it to one spot, but trust me, it's going to make a big difference. Oh, you know what, and I can't do that there here. Let's push this one there, because I want to put one over here too, right? See, what it is I'm trying to do is you have to try to find all the spots you can leave squares, but you can't put them like next to each other, right? Because then you can't push them, right? So it's really kind of a matter of managing your space, which I'm not very good at, right? It's one of the weaknesses intellectually I have is certain kinds of spatial reasoning I struggle with more than kind of abstract logical crap, mathematical nonsense, right? This moving physical things, sometimes I get hung up on what I think it should be rather than, you know, what it really is, you know, I don't know. I think it's because I spend too much time. Oops, I don't want to move that one. I remember that now. That was part of the problem. I'll explain that in a bit when I get near the part where it is important. It's kind of hard to explain, or basically it's hard for me to articulate, I guess, is the thing. And it would probably just be really confusing. Oh, see, I've already goofed a thing up here now. See, you idiot. Can I do this without having to go all the way back? You know what, here, let's make use of a feature of the puzzle. There's this little animation feature where it'll just automatically wind you back. Because it just dawned on me. I need to... Alright, I did that whole weird little goofy nonsense. Let's just let it undo itself too. Here we go. Now, boom. I need these ones not to really be here. Right. I need those to be down there first. Right, because I want one there. Or do I? Oh crap, now I'm forgetting. Now I need it there. Oh crap, now I'm forgetting the sequence here. Is it going to be harder to move that here now? See, because I have to stack a bunch up here. But I also need to have one here in that spot. Around that little block there. Alright, I'm going to try and leave that there and see how this goes. I may have to unwind it again. Hopefully I won't screw the pooch on it too badly. Alright, see, there you go. I won't do the animation wind back thing here now. I'll just do this like this. Crap, yeah, I have to. Darn it. Just don't. I I should have just been doing it the way I was doing it in the beginning. I was outsmarting myself, really. Hopefully it'll... So I missed. So much silly moving around for nothing, huh? So let's just go put those back. That was a nice little escapade into the realm of playing with the interface here. Nope, let's just push that back. There we go. Okay. I forgot I have to be able to do this around that little block there, right? So there's this whole kind of sequence that's necessary here. So let's do this. I think I can do this way, right? Right, and then I want to put this one here. Okay, so those are all rearranged. So now there really isn't much. I've got, how many is it over there? There's 1, 2, 3. Looks like 10 of them I need to get up and out into this realm of the world. Well, 11 if you count that one down there, right? So let's go deal with that. You'll see how this is going to go. See, that's why you need this thing, right? So you can... Alright, so now this, so I can put one there. And then we're going to move this one all the way to there. Alright. This one goes there. Okay, I think how do I want to do this now? I think what I did before is I started storing some down here. That was it. There we go. Right. See, because here's the thing, what you have to do is you have to take them all out, right? Except for this very last one there. It'll go there in that spot, all the way down here in the lower right corner. But everything else has to come out and then get pushed back in. But because of this little block here, you can't use this middle one very well. And even with that, as you have these blocks in between the openings, to get these 3 spots right here, right? So like that spot there, that spot there, and that spot there is a pain in the butt, or it was for me to figure out a way of doing that, because you can't just poke it through and then push it over, right? You have to kind of, I don't know, I guess the way I think about it in my head is preload it. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it will as I do the puzzle when it unfolds. We'll see. Right. Oh, but the other thing is I have too many of them, so I need... I have a couple just stuck down here. Just to kind of have them out of my way. That. This one goes there. Oops, I don't want to go up just yet. Let's do this. I don't know if I've done this right, otherwise I'll have to start over here. Alright. I think us okay. One goes there. And then push this one down, go around, push this one down. It goes like that. Man, now I'm thinking I've goofed up. I did. I forgot one. I need to leave one here, right? See, now this is not going to work because, well, when I'll undo it and I'm using the animation feature, which will be kind of silly, but, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. See, the problem is when I push this one here, well, you'll see, I'll just do it and then you'll see how it doesn't work, and then, so this is the kind of nonsense I went through the other day. I kept going, oh crap, I didn't know, right? See, now I have no means of getting down and around this one, right? Boom, slammed into it. And it's not gonna fly. Alright, so let's wind it back. Smart nicotine break while I watch that software do its little animation feature to wind it back. So I don't know how many of you guys actually try playing this game after seeing it. It doesn't seem to me to be a very popular game in a pop culture, mass culture sort of sense. I mean, I don't know anybody else. I mean, no one I know personally really plays this game. You know what I mean? Kind of seems like it's a niche market game, maybe, right? Alright, is that enough? Do I have to go that far back, or is this going to give me enough leeway to move things around, just to have stuff out of the way? You know, maybe, hang on, let me... Yeah, I'm going to stop it and see. Can I... You know, I might have been able to do that without winding it back. No, I don't think I could have, because I need to... can I get that there? That can go up there, alright. That can go there. You know what, I can do this, because then I can redo this one here. Let's just push this one there. That'll work there. Okay, so let's put that one back. And then we'll go fill up the other one. This one goes there. Oh man, I'm afraid I haven't done it right again. I think I've done something wrong. I wonder if I have to go look at my solution. That's the cool thing, is that the game will let you load your solution. You can watch it and see how it... Alright, can I... What am I missing here? Nope, I've goofed up somewhere. So what have I done wrong? There's probably another spot that I should have stashed one up there that I'm overlooking or forgetting. Or maybe you guys are going, no, Bill, just move that one. It'll be just fine. I don't know. Let me see. What am I not seeing? I don't see any spot to stash one, so I think I have everything stashed where it needs to be stashed. Maybe not. I think I need to have one more there. I think I do need to have one more there. You know, maybe I should just start over. How about that? Let's just start over. Okay. Well, this will be a good long video then for you guys, that's for certain. Okay. Let's go move this guy over there. And we'll move this guy there. I didn't need to move that guy all that way over. Alright, that's alright. That's okay. Okay, so let's move that guy out of the way. Okay. Move that guy up there. Move this guy over. Go around. Okay. I'm going to take this one now. Let me push this one there. Oops, no, I don't want to do that just yet. Let's take this one there. Now let's push that guy there. I think he can live there just fine for just now. This guy goes there. This guy goes up here. Alright, so you can do all these weird goofy things when you get around corners and stuff. It uses to your advantage, right? Let's move this out of the way so that I can get this guy up. Alright. That was not the most efficient path for that, but that's alright. We're not breaking any records here with this pass, are we? Okay, now all of those up there are fine. Yeah, see, it's going to be much better. Much better. Well, yeah, of course it is, right? It's the difference between success and failure, isn't it? Okay. Let's stick. Alright, let's take this one down. Let's go around the little thing there. We'll go over here. I might as well stick that one there now. Now we'll go put the ones. Take these. Oops. All the way over here. Kind of go up and around like that. Let's take this one. I don't know. Whenever I've goof something up like this, I always have this nagging thing in the back of my mind that we'll see here in a few minutes though if it's going to be correct. And then it's just a matter of moving boxes, right? I think I've mentioned this before in another video that I'm probably going to screw this up, but the first time I ever saw a game set up, oops, let's go back. I forgot to push those ones down there. Right, let's do this. So one goes there. Back in the... Man, the first time I played a Soko game, I think it was called Sokoban. And it was, I think it was on a Unix thing. Ah, crap, I did it again. I won't wind it back, I'll just do it this way. Oh, you know what? No, I think it was on an MS-DOS game. So, I mean, you guys know I'm an old fart, so... Back in the 90s or something. It wasn't even a... I think it was a game I had on a machine that was pre-Pentium even, you know what I mean? I mean, how many of you kids even remember computers that weren't with Pentiums? Yeah, I know I've mentioned this before too, because it just amuses the hell out of me. Because I grew up using computers as a kid, but we're talking back in the 1970s, right? So, I mean, we had a Sorcerer Exidy, and we had one. It was only 8K. You know what I mean? Oh, I shouldn't have taken that all the way down there. That's because I just wasted a big stretch of moves there, but... Anyway, but I think the whole Sokoban thing, as I remembered, it's because Soko something... Oops. See, when you squeeze them together like that by mistake, you can't move them, so you gotta use the back button. I think it's like Warehouseman or something like that from Japan, I think is where the initial early versions of this game came from. Well, I don't know. That could just be crap that I'm not remembering correctly. Anyway, so now you'll see, now that I've done all that rearranging, now you can just fill it. Let's see, it's just, you moved them all out to push them all back in. And the thing about it is you want to leave that middle one there, which is kind of a pain, because it means you have to kind of constantly go around it, right? So you're going to be doing a lot of this mess, like poke it through, go around, right? It makes, for some reason, it reminds me of the kind of the, like a sewing machine, right? You're looping through around, I don't know, maybe that's just me being silly, but... Okay, so now... Let's see, here we go. Let's see, what do I want to start with? Let's take... What's going to be the easiest thing to set up here? I guess doing this guy first. Oh, because see what you're worried. Well, you'll see what's going to happen. I have to fill them all the way up to here, and then I have to do a little more fiddling for this mess down here. So we're going to poke this one down, come around, put that guy there. This guy. I'm sure everybody's going, why don't you just push that middle one down, Bill? It's like, yeah, it's not going to work right. I mean, I guess I could do this with this one, right? For this end instead of going through, but you still have to, always do this between those two far ones. Because the problem is, if you move this one that's in the middle, see, you can't push down from above it, right? Because of that block right there. So it screws you up. So you have to do this whole goofy thing, so. So around and around we go. Let's go ahead and get that guy all the way up there. See, that's another thing about this game. If you do want to play it and try to get good scores, you don't want to just haphazardly go around pushing these through the way I am in the order that I'm doing it. You want to actually be careful in going that you're doing it in a particular order, because the order you do it in will affect the length that you have to travel each piece, which means how many times you have to move a thing, which is what we're counting here, right? You know? So the more efficient you can be, obviously, the better score you get. And I understand that I just get too lazy to actually pursue the whole notion of being efficient just because I'm, you know, I don't know. Part of it is the math guy thing. You want to get a concept and then in an abstract and then, oh, okay, I'll let the engineers do the details, right? Because mathematicians are notoriously lazy. Okay, so now here we go. What we gotta do, start kind of paying attention a little bit. Because I have to get this guy in here. Because what you do is you put him there. And then we're going to push this one in here. Oh, you know what, I need to do this back to there like that, and then we'll move it like that, and then like that. See, now we can actually fill in that spot. Okay, that's it. Now the rest of it is just poking these ones down this, which is all pretty easy, and then just that other spot will just get filled in by itself. That's not that big a deal. So let's see how we want to do this. Let's take this one like that. Go down. And go down. Go over. And we're going to go up. Push this one down. Push this one over like that. I wonder how I'm doing on the score count. What am I at, 1600 and something? I don't think we're going to be close to improving my score at all. But that's alright. It's not like I'm up for any awards on this or anything like that, right? It's just a game. Oop. Use the back arrow. Boop. Let's go get that guy all the way up there. Take this guy here. And now let's go over and get that last one, and hopefully this was interesting for you. You know, I don't know, do I feel like playing another game? Yeah, I'll go find another one. Maybe I'll try to find one that seems reasonably easy. And I got 1833. You know, for some reason that number sticks in my mind. Is that a standard displacement on a modified VW, right? I think a 1776, right? Isn't it the bicentennial thing? But it seems to me I remember a guy that had a Baja bug that was started off as a 1600 and he took it to a 1776 or something like that. It seems to me I think somebody had an 18 something that I knew too. I used to have an old 71 bus, but I just kept the motor stock on the 1600. It was cool because it had the vacuum advance on the Bosch distributor. That was cool because it had a line on the vacuum that was for assisting the brakes, which was kind of cool. So if you're a gearhead and you like old VW buses, a 71 is a good option. It's not a split window, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, I don't drive cars anymore, but when I did for a while, I had a VW bus, which I'm sure doesn't surprise any of you. I mean, a dude with a long beard who wears tie-dye t-shirts that he makes himself probably doesn't surprise you that he used to drive a VW bus. Anyway, let's go find another one, and then I'll wrap it up and see about going to bed. You know, this one here, how long is that one? You know, that one seems doable. That's still a pretty long process, isn't it? Let's find this shorter one. I need to go to bed, so let's go back to here. You know, let's go to the catalog. What's one that I know? So those ones with the little ones, that means that I'm among the guys with the top score. That's all that little thing means. There's not a bunch of those. I'm not that good at this really, but start going through the pages, you'll see. Let me find one that looks like it might actually be somewhat interesting, but still fairly short. You know, I think this one is okay. Have I played this one online before? Oops, I keep bumping the stand. Sorry about that. You know, if I have, you guys can just yell at me for it, but I don't. It seems to me I have, but maybe not. But this one won't take that long. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You're just moving the boxes and getting them to their target. There's not a lot of trickiness involved with this one. You're just moving them, right? So this is more like a relaxation game, really, right? You just, oh, let's move this one. I mean, I guess the only thing really is, if you wanted to get a good score, you'd have to be, you know, organize yourself well, right? I don't see, is there something that's going to come back and bite me in the butt? And glancing at it, it doesn't seem so. It seems like everything's fairly straightforward. Some of these puzzles they're set up so when you look at it, and I know some of these puzzle designers are just sadistic guys, you know, or they don't have to be guys, they could be, who knows what they are, but I have a tendency to be lazy with pronoun usage, so you'll just have to forgive me. And yeah, anyway, what I was going to say is that some of them, there's a thing, they're set up so like you go, oh, that looks obvious, you just move these boxes around, you go on your merry way, and you're doing something, and then you realize that if you just do that, you'll overlook something, and then you'll realize that you've locked something up, but this one doesn't look like there's any of that involved at all. Some of those get really frustrating. You get like 75% of the way through it, and then you realize, oh, because of the way you've set it up, you've screwed yourself for finishing it. And you're like, man, you sadistic puzzle builders, why are you screwing with our minds? Because they can, that's why. Anyway. So this isn't going to take that much longer to finish up, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I apologize for my lack of output. I've been getting a fair number of, hey Bill, what's going on, where are you at, kind of comments and messages, and that's fair. I mean, I love ASMR, I consume it a lot. I don't want to get into making a bunch of excuses, but there's crap going on in my world that, well, whatever. I just can't seem to prioritize and make the time for it, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try and do better. I've had a couple of people, you know, I'll make a comment about this. There's one I've been wanting to make because people have asked about my perspective on things like religion and politics and whatnot, and so I think I want to make one about that and maybe start doing some vlog-ish sort of things because they don't take a lot of planning, right? I can just put up a camera and babble with very little editing and like that, so I've been rolling it around in my head. And I think I will actually do it, so I'll go ahead and mention the fact that I'm planning to do it, you know. Maybe that'll put a fire under my butt to actually get it done. And the like with that, but, yeah, so I think that'll be it for this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was relaxing. I hope for those of you who dig the ASMR thing for the Tingle Quest, I hope this served the purposes you were after. And hopefully I will be making another video, not, sooner than, I have been doing, Anyway, there you go. Have a nice evening, everybody.